Our St. Louis Dragons return for weeks 4 and 5, 2 games within the division as we face off against the 49ers and the Seahawks. Part of being in the NFC West is that usually we're going to have 3 good opponents in the division with us, and that leads to 6 pretty challenging games a year, and we're going to have 2 of them right here. It's been an interesting start this year for our Dragons, who sit at a record of 2-0-1 through the first 3 weeks of the year. Last episode, we had a doubleheader against the Browns and the Ravens, 2 playoff teams from the AFC North, and we did solid in those 2 games. We beat the Browns 28-23. Cleveland had a nice comeback late, but a dropped Hail Mary was able to lead us to surviving. And then the Ravens game was certainly interesting because it ended off as a tie. The Ravens, of course, are the defending Super Bowl champions, led by Lamar Jackson, who actually just got his big extension after this game. And Lamar didn't play all that well. He got injured in the third quarter. Will Levis came in and dominated, leading the Ravens to a comeback. You can make the argument that if Lamar didn't get hurt, we'd be 3-0 right now, which is kind of strange to think about, considering obviously Lamar Jackson is better than Will Levis. As for our offense, we've had a lot of ups and downs so far. Puma Whitlock is barely averaging 6 yards an attempt. He's averaged around 8 over the last couple of years. And the reason for this is pretty simple. The offensive line, particularly the tackle play, has been really shaky. The sack numbers aren't up, but Puma's been under constant pressure and has had to look short the entire season. And it's not going to get much easier today. We have to play against Nick Bosa in Week 4, and then a super well-rounded Seattle pass rush in Week 5. We have a QB1 check-in here for Puma Whitlock, who hasn't necessarily started the year on fire. He hasn't been bad per se at all, but he also hasn't looked like the MVP quarterback that he was a year ago. He's got chemistry with everybody on the offense. We just need him to step up some more, and I'm confident he will, assuming the offensive line play isn't as bad as it's been through the first 3 weeks of the year. We are going to make a quick move in free agency. We're going to add Ryan Dawkins, a talented corner, to the practice squad. I think we could use a little more depth there. He may ultimately get called up to the active roster sooner than later. So let's take a look at the Niners, who are 1-2 this year. The Niners were not a very good team last season either, and you got to wonder if Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy are going to be on the hot seat because they've been disappointing so far for over a year now. They beat the defending champion Ravens in Week 1, but they've lost back-to-back games at home against the Saints and the Packers, who were 2 of the worst teams in the NFL last year. And now they've got to play us on the road. I think the game that ultimately killed this team was when we beat them in the playoffs a couple years ago, and they haven't really found their mojo back. Brock Purdy has still been Brock Purdy. He's not necessarily a guy you win because of, but you can certainly win with him. He's one of the better field general, game manager style of quarterbacks in the league, and he's shown that he can be more than that, but this year he hasn't played all that great so far. Of course, the Niners have great weapons: McCaffrey, Sanders, Debo, Core, Kittle. Now, some of these guys are getting a little bit older, though, and maybe that's the issue with this Niners team. Maybe this core has just run its course, and they need to reset a little bit. They still have a ton of talent on defense. Nick Bosa is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Fred Warner might be the best off-ball linebacker in the league. They've drafted pretty well in this series, not just in terms of offensive skill guys, but also on defense, with former Rookie of the Year Jalen Fox at corner. Defensive tackle Carmelo Finnegan, who will not play today. That's a big loss for them inside the middle of their defense. Ever since the start of Season 3, we've kind of owned this team. I imagine the Niners have had this game circled on their calendar since the NFL schedule came out, but that's also the exact thing that I said last year, and we swept them. So it'll be interesting to see if the Niners can finally get their revenge on us, or if we can continue to own these guys and get another win against this San Francisco team. Should be a fun one in division as the Dragons look to stay undefeated. Undefeated means you haven't lost, and even though we haven't won every game this year, we also haven't lost yet either. The Dragons are going to start on offense, where it appears they've taken a step back from last year, looking to respond today as it's a screen on 3rd and 18 for the rookie Milan Santa, and he will get the first down. Puma was under a ton of pressure. The design was for a short play there, and the rookie Santa is able to weave his way through defenders and barely get the first down. A great play there by the second rounder out of Memphis, who gets the ball right back with blocks to the 21. Santa's been a little underwhelming through the first 3 weeks of the year. We've seen the upside, but he hasn't been all that efficient as a runner yet. Hopefully he can change that today as he's off to a good start. Darwin Juskins gets 3, and it appears he's hurt on the play. Won't be a serious injury, but he'll be out for the rest of the game. So Milan Santa is going to get a full opportunity to be the guy in the backfield. We're going to see some Tornado Davis. We might see some J.J. Booker as well. But this is going to be Milan Santa's backfield today. On second down, Puma up the middle for the slot receiver, Griffin Weaver. He's going to get through defenders and make it to the 7-yard line. It's been a very steady drive here for the Dragons. This is the 15th play of the possession. Puma's got Modelo, and he's just shy of the end zone at the 2. You know the Dragons are going to be aggressive, and sure enough, they will keep the offense out of the field. They're going to go for it here on 4th and goal from the 2. It's going to be an RPO. Davis keeps it. He's in for the score. Tornado Davis, the second, is in for the touchdown. Puma Whitlock had the option to go to Modelo or hand it off to the running back. There was room up the middle, and Davis takes it in for a 4th down score. The Dragons spend 5 minutes, half the quarter on that drive, and they lead 7-0. McCaffrey going backwards on 1st down, and now Jeff Okudah is injured. That's not good, being that he's one of the most important players on this defense. We haven't talked a ton about him and Cam Lucifer this year, but I think the two of them on the outside are a big reason why this defense has been so successful. 3rd and 7, play action. Purdy under pressure from Bonnet as he throws it away. Simeon Bonnet, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, has 0 sacks this year. It's a contract season for him. Obviously, he's not going anywhere, but if he wants to get the most amount of money possible, he's got to step it up. 3rd and 5, short throw for Modelo. Gets a big block from Keon. Nobody in front of him. He's going to take it all the way. 63 yards de la casa for Arturo Modelo. And the Dragons are off to a great start. They lead 14-0. Niners with it back. They got to respond, and that is not how you do it. Jabril Fofana in the backfield, forcing a loss of 8 on the sack. He does not bite off the play action as it's 3rd down and 10. The Niners make up the yards from the sack, and they finally get a 1st down. It's Yami Oosterswan, the 4th-year wide receiver out of Ohio State, who gets it to the 45-yard line. Into the second quarter now. All Dragons through the first, but the Niners are finally getting something going on offense. 3rd and 9. Purdy floats it up. It's hauled in by Jumani Core in his 3rd season out of Kentucky, and he brings it to the 3. Nice gain of 23 for Core, and the Niners have an opportunity to bring themselves back into the game and cut the lead down to 1 score. 1st and goal. Purdy goes short. Back for Core, who's in for a score. Hey, that rhymed. And the Niners make it 14-7. So San Francisco's offense claps back with a touchdown, and the Dragons return after finding the end zone on their first 2 possessions. Here's Milan Santa. Looks to break the tackle from Hufanga. He is lit up at the 42 as Warner is banged up for San Francisco, and he gets a bonk on the head from Modelo. It looks like he'll be fine, but obviously not ideal for San Francisco, losing one of their best players as the multi-time All-Pro heads to the sidelines. Following play, Puma under a ton of pressure on the run for Modelo, who gets it to the 41. This has been by far Puma's best half of the year. The throws that he's making have been really impressive. That time he was under a ton of pressure, and he still threads the needle for Modelo. 3rd and 10. Puma has a wide open man up the middle. It's Weaver, who brings it all the way to the 13 for a gain of nearly 30. Again, the pocket collapses, but Puma doesn't panic. He waits for Weaver to get open for a big play. 3rd and inches from the 3. Puma looks to throw it, and it is broken up. Modelo, the intended target. That's Jalen Fox, who got a hand on it. And the Dragons are going to go for it again. You know how this team likes to be aggressive. 4th and inches at the 3. It's a handoff for Santa, and he does not get it. Fred Warner and company bring him down, and that stop could really change the momentum of this football game. The Niners get it back, and it's only a 1-score affair. 3rd and 5. Purdy goes short for Deebo Samuel, who keeps the feed in. And now the Niners have gotten themselves out of safety territory. They still get flashbacks from the playoff game where Purdy was safetied twice. Purdy looks short on 1st down for McCaffrey. He's lit up in the backfield for a loss of 2 by Owen Popo, who of course is playing on the franchise tag. He's been pretty solid so far this year. And now it's 3rd and 12. Purdy has a wide open man. It's Jumani Core. And he's going to get a big gain of 25. The Dragons were playing soft zone there, and that decision proves to backfire in a major way, as Core has gotten off to a great start in this first half. One of the few bright spots today for the Niners. 3rd and 10. Purdy under pressure on the run with a great throw for Oosterswand, who nearly gets the first down. But he is stopped shy by Ronrakis Barber, who's the other outside corner, along with Lucifer, now that obviously Jeff Okuda's hurt. San Fran would punt it. The offense gets it back, looking to get some more points here before the end of the half, making a 2-score lead. Puma under pressure. He is likely wide open, but he also has plenty of rushing room. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Good run there by Puma Whitlock, showing off his ability on the ground. Up the middle, he's got Modelo, who gets it to the 49. Arturo Modelo's got to be close to 100 yards at this point. Another dominant first half for the all-pro receiver. There's Keon on the comebacker, gets it to the 27. He was always a step ahead on that route compared to the corner Jalen Fox. Puma recognized that instantly and made him his first read. 3rd and 5 with just over 30 seconds left. Jamison Williams has the ball popped out of his hands by Fred Warner. Big hit for the Niners. That'll stop the Dragons from getting the first down, and they'll look to kick. 38-yard field goal try for Cameron Dicker. The kicker is good, and so the Dragons are up by 10. Niners are going to be in an interesting spot here. They only have 28 seconds, but they also have all 3 timeouts. I feel like they should be aggressive, look to move down the field and get some points, make it a 1-score game once again. And this play is going to kill all of those hopes. Nnamdi Sanaga and Simeon Bonnet in the backfield with the sack. It took Bonnet 3.5 weeks, but he finally has a sack, along with Sanaga making the play. He is starting at left end for the injured B.J. Ojulari. And that'll wrap up the first half, 17-7. Really strong half on both ends of the field for the Dragons. The offense has been great. Puma Whitlock has looked lights out. The run game has been really good. That's been an issue so far this year. And defensively, we've been really holding up so far. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the league. The Seahawks are currently 3-0. They lead the Giants 21-14. 3 first-half passing touchdowns from Tyler Nguyen. I didn't even know the Seahawks were having a QB battle, but Nguyen, the second-rounder, won the job, and he's been awesome as they look to go 4-0. The Browns have gotten off to a solid start this year. However, they are getting pummeled by the Jets, 23-3, with that touchdown by the running back, Breece Hall. And in Orchard Park, close game here between the Bills and the Cowboys, but it's Buffalo on top with this score from Josh Allen to Gabe Davis. As we look at the second half of our game now, what do the Dragons need to focus on to get this win? Offensively, we've been really solid. Minus the missed 4th down, it's been mostly smooth sailing. I want to get the intermediate area of the field really going, though, in the passing game. And then defensively, I think Brock Purdy's been solid. The numbers are better than you would think, considering the Niners only have 7 points. So we got to make sure he's not able to start a comeback, as he's got Kittle open up the middle, and he brings it to around midfield. The Dragons have held Kittle, Debo, and McCaffrey really in check in this first half, as Jumani Kaur has been the only skill position guy on this team who's been really good. 3rd and 10, up the middle, nice grab. Not a first down, though. It's only a gain of 9 for Debo. He's quickly wrapped up by Demore Diggins. And the Niners are going to kick. I feel like the likelihood of getting a 4th and 1 is higher than a 57-yard field goal. Now, Jake Moody's made some long kicks against us, and this one's going to be added to the collection as it is good. So Moody drills one from nearly 60, and it's a one-possession game once again, 17-10. Dragons back with it. They didn't punt once in the first half. Puma up the middle. He's going to run with it for a first down. He had Likely and Santa open, but again, Puma's willing to make some plays on the ground. He found an open seam in the offensive line, and he takes advantage for the first down. From the 37, going short, it's J-Mo who gets the first down to the 49-yard line. Quiet start for J-Mo today. He's been very good over the last 2 weeks after missing week 1. Today he's been off to a slower start, though. Here's Santa now, looking at Juke by Hufanga. He's unsuccessful, but he does get the first down. And with Santa being the lead running back today, I think he's been pretty good. Minus that 4th down, he's been real solid. Play action. Puma rolls out to the left, trying to outrun Drake Jackson, and he cannot. A loss of 5 on the sack by Jackson, who's playing for the injured Kylan Childs, who got hurt earlier today. Childs was the Niners' first-round pick this year. On 3rd down, Modelo cannot come down with it. Looks like there was some miscommunication between Puma and Modelo, which is a surprise with how often those two are in sync. 48-yard field goal for Dicker. It would be his longest of the year, and it is good. Dicker's only missed 1 kick so far this year. He's been really solid, and the Dragons have had to use him a lot thus far. as it's 20-10. Two-score game once again with 5 to go in the third. Purdy on first down, looking up the middle. He's got Jumani Kaur once again, who brings it to the 47-yard line. Cam Lucifer's the best and most experienced guy in the secondary, yet he's really the only guy Purdy's consistently targeting, and it's kind of working. Purdy under pressure on second down. He is sacked. Simeon Bonnet and Orlin Babylon with half a sack each, and so now it's a 3rd and 19 for the 49ers. Purdy looks to throw it. Under more pressure from Bonnet and Sanaga, as he will throw it away. So the pass rush is continuing to play really well. Our pass rush has not been very good this year, but with Simeon Bonnet playing well today, that's opened things up for everybody else in a big way. 3rd and 1. Santa does not get the first down. Big stop there by the Niners. It's the rookie Cormani Edwards, the safety, who brings him down. Santa's been, again, really good today, but the short yardage stuff he's really struggled with. Niners back with it. First down. Purdy on the run with a strike for Yami Oosterswan, who gets it to the 45-yard line. Nice play there for San Francisco as they get the first down. Really impressive throw on the run under a ton of pressure by Brock Purdy. Minute and a half left in the third. Purdy looks short for Kittle, breaks the tackle from Malik Hooker, gets by Barber, and is wrapped up by Simeon Bonnet. Another nice first down. Why was Bonnet shoving his nuts in Kittle's face? Anyway, into the fourth quarter, 20-10, Dragons lead, 2nd and 6. Purdy again under pressure. He's sacked by Trajan Blyshenden, his first of the year. And again, everybody's eating on the pass rush today. Sanaga has been good. Blyshenden and Babylon are making plays. And all of this is because Simeon Bonnet has been a disruptive force. 3rd and 16. Purdy throws it away. Bonnet, again, speak of the devil, with the pressure. Good coverage as well, and that'll bring out the field goal team. Moody made one from 57 earlier. How about this one from 56? This one is up, and it is good. That could have been good from 66. I don't know why Jake Moody always dominates when these two teams play, as the Niners make it a one-score game once again, 13-20. Handoff for Tornado Davis. He's got blocks, and Davis with a first down, and now he's hurt. So now the Dragons only have 2 healthy running backs with Santa and J.J. Booker. Our backfield is depleting rather quickly. 3rd and 3 now from the 47. It's a handoff for Santa, and again, he is struggling in these short yardage spots, although to be fair, he had no blocking. DJ Reader, the veteran, brings him down. That'll force a punt. The Dragons have not scored really much at all since the first quarter, only a pair of field goals. And it's a one-score game with the Niners back on offense. They can theoretically tie it here. Purdy on first down. Good start to the drive. He's got Kittle for around 12 or 13. Kittle's been awfully impressive here in the second half after a much quieter first half, as the Niners now have it at the 32. Purdy looks to throw it again. He's under pressure. And Purdy is chased from behind and sacked by Simeon Bonnet, who's got 2 today. His first full sack of the year as Bonnet continues his excellent game, trying to make himself some more money. 3rd and 13 after the sack by Bonnet. Purdy looks to throw it with Bonnet in the zone. Going to try to run up the middle, and he will get around 4. Wrapped on the play by Owen Popo, and the Dragons with another stop. The defense continues to be fantastic as it's been all year so far, and they'll get it back on offense. 2nd and inches. Milan Santa looking for a block from Taylor. He's out of bounds at the 50. Big run by Milan Santa, who continues to have the best game of his NFL career, nearly doubling his career total in scrimmage yards. Following play. Puma under pressure. Fumbles it! Someone's got to pick up that ball! And finally, it is Puma Whitlock who recovers it. Nick Bosa with the strip sack, and it's no surprise to see him making a play. He does not like guys like Puma Whitlock in the backfield, and what I mean by that is he doesn't like quarterbacks. All quarterbacks, that is. Wink, wink. 3rd and 6. Misfires for Isaiah Likely, who was open. Saul Tanpepper was there with the pressure, and the Niners offense is going to get another opportunity. They'll start at the 20. The Dragons defense has been great all game long. Can they get one more stop to Likely ice it? From the 20, first play of the drive, 3:42 left to go. Purdy gets rocked by Bonnet as he fires for Jumani Kaur, who gets it to the 37. That was a ridiculous throw. Bonnet was all up in his face. Kaur was covered extremely well, and Purdy's still able to thread it. 3rd and 15 under a lot more pressure from Bonnet as he finds Deebo Samuel, who's wrapped up by Barber. That's going to make it a 4th and 2. If it was 4th and 15, I think you probably punt the ball. But at this stage in the game, with only being 2 yards away, I think you got to go for it. Play action. Purdy. Incomplete! Nnamdi Sanaga, number 90, the left end, did not get fooled by the play action. Storms in the backfield with the pressure, forcing the errant throw, and the Dragons can finish it off. 2nd and 8, RPO for Modelo, and they're going to give him the first down. I don't think he got it, but we'll take it. 2nd and 8, Milan Santa gets 2, and he's hurt. Not only did the Dragons have to use a timeout, but they have one healthy running back left with J.J. Booker. None of their 3 running backs are seriously hurt. They'll all be fine long term. But it's not ideal having one guy in the backfield as it's a play action for Booker on 3rd down. Puma's looking deep, and it's broken up by Warner. The Dragons wanted to throw San Francisco off guard by looking downfield, and with the veteran smart defenders that these guys have, they were not fooled. So that'll bring out the field goal team. 48-yarder for Dicker. He made one from 48 earlier today, as this one is good. And it is a 2-score game once again, 23-13. So the Niners still would need an absolute miracle here, theoretically, as it's a 4th and 10. Purdy's pass is broken up by Ronrakis Barber, as that will do it. The Dragons win a defensive slugfest, 23-13. Our offense looked great early in the game, scoring touchdowns on our first 2 possessions. We did not find the end zone after that, but we didn't need to. The defense was absolutely fantastic. Simeon Bonnet and the pass rush did a great job. I think Ronrakis Barber in the secondary deserves a ton of credit. He had to come in early with Jeff Okudah getting hurt, and he did a fantastic job on the outside. And if Okudah misses time, we feel more than confident with having Barber starting alongside Cam Lucifer. Overall, a great defensive game, only 250 yards for the Ravens. Puma Whitlock was really solid, especially early, and he wasn't bad as the game went along. He had 8.5 yards per attempt. That's a lot better than the 6 that he's been averaging this year. Brock Purdy also wasn't bad. He didn't win him the game, but he didn't lose it either. I thought Milan Santa did pretty well, whereas the Niners' run game was very mediocre. We really held McCaffrey in check. Arturo Modelo, 7 for 125. Regular day in the office for him. Jumani Corp was also really impressive for the Niners. He had nearly 100 yards. On the offensive line, I thought the O-line was better. Jawan Taylor still allowed 2 sacks, though. The defense, though, was really impressive. 3 tackles for loss and 2 sacks for Bonnet. He had a ton of pressures as well. He had one of those games where he took over and was one of the biggest reasons why we won. Also, shout out to both kickers, Dicker and Moody, because both of them were really impressive. So overall, a strong win there, even though our offense really didn't get much going after the first quarter, and the offense continues to be really inconsistent this year. We've had some good stretches, such as the first quarter of this game and the Browns game, but we've had some bad stretches as well. Look at the Texans game, where we didn't score a single offensive touchdown. We do have 2 new injuries, none of which are to the running backs, but 2 key starters. Ryan Jensen, broken ribs, he'll miss 4 games. Jeff Okudah, broken thumb, he'll miss 3. So indeed, Ronrakis Barber will be starting for the next few weeks, and at center, it'll be Luke Whippler, the former Buckeye. Puma's got experience with him, so that helps. And then again with Barber, I'm really excited for him to show what he's made of. He hasn't really been able to find the field a ton yet in his NFL career, but I think he's a really talented player. Here's a look at the scores around the league here in Week 4. As for your players of the week, we've got Bryce Young, who was just given a big extension, Justin Herbert, Kamari Banks II, and Graham Duncan. So that's going to bring us into Week 5, but beforehand, I want to show you something cool. Scotty Pickens now has a career record of 35, 34, and 3. For the first time in his coaching career, he has a record over 500. It only took us 4+ seasons to do it. He also has the most ties amongst active coaches, which is really funny to me. Andy Reid has coached like 500 NFL games, and he's only had 1 tie, yet Scotty Pickens has 3. He has 2 ties within his last 5 regular season games, dating back to last year. That'll bring us into Week 5 against the 4-0 Seattle Seahawks on Sunday night primetime football. This is one of, if not the biggest games of the NFL season so far, not just for us, but really for the entire league. There's only 3 teams who haven't lost yet, and 2 of them are playing against each other today. I find it funny that the 2 teams who are undefeated with us are the only 2 teams in the league who are starting rookie quarterbacks. Like, who would have thought? As we look at how the NFC West has been through 4 weeks, the Niners haven't been good. The Rams are 0-4. I don't know what the deal is with them. But if this were to hold up, it looks like it's going to be a two-horse race for the division between us and Seattle. Believe it or not, the only team in our division that we've had trouble beating consistently is the Seahawks. I feel like we've dominated against the Niners over the last few years. We've dominated against the Rams over the last few years. But we always seem to have trouble with the Seahawks, especially on the road. And, well, sure enough, today's game is on the road, and it's super rainy as well. So, of course, the big storyline for the Seahawks is the quarterback position. They drafted Bryson Bourne in the 4th round back in Season 1. He was a solid starter for them. However, with him being on the last year of his deal, they decided to explore other options, drafting Tyler Nguyen, the 24-year-old out of Oklahoma State, in the 2nd round. I never really thought it was going to be a battle for who was going to start. I assumed it was going to be Bourne, but not only was it a battle, but Nguyen won the job, and he's been awesome through 4 weeks. He may not be the most physically talented quarterback, very similarly to Bourne, but he's absurd in terms of his accuracy. He's had 3 really strong games this year. The consistency for a rookie who's making his debut has been really impressive. These guys have plenty of great skill position players with Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Noah Fant always plays well against us. Defensively, they've got a really good corner tandem with Witherspoon and Woolen. They've got a good pass rush as well. Vita Vea up front, Rowanzo Sanders and Uchenna Nwosu on the edge. Devin Bush always dominates against us, and they've got one of the better safety tandems in the league with Gunther Zimmerman and Salamani Bali. Of course, we got hit pretty hard by the injury bug last week, and that carried into practice with 2 more starters out today. Jamison Williams is going to miss another game, this time with an ACL sprain. Cam Lucifer broke his finger and will miss 2 games. So now we're going to be without both of our starting outside corners. We're going to call up Ryan Dawkins from the practice squad, although the other outside corner is going to be Ryan Nada instead. Nada and Barber will be the outside guys. Diggins will stay in the slot. And as for wide receiver, everybody's just going to move up a spot. Modelo's going to be the true only number 1. Griffin Weaver's going to play even more. Tykeem Keon Jr. is going to play even more. We might see more Aaron Mayer and Colin Robinson as well. So now we'll hop into this game. Sunday Night Football, 3-0-1 Dragons against the 4-0 Seattle Seahawks on the road. The Dragons are going to be missing 5 starters today, but again, I think the biggest 2 losses are going to be Okudah and Lucifer. One of the biggest reasons why the defense has been so good this year has been the coverage. We have shut down top receivers for the most part this year, but now we don't have either of our top 2 corners available. Ronrakis Barber was awesome last week, but he's never started in an NFL game until right now. Ryan Nada has also never started in an NFL game, and he never started at corner in college. Quite the opportunity for Tyler Nguyen, the rookie, to look to exploit the defense's weakness as he's incomplete on 3rd down. Good coverage by Samasoni Saluni. Dragons with it on offense. 2nd and 7. Puma with rushing room. Looking to get the 1st down. Ball goes flying, and it's picked up by Seattle. I think that was Salamani Bali with the fumble force. Picked up by Jordan Brooks, and the Seahawks are going to get excellent field position. Puma Whitlock has now fumbled it 3 weeks in a row. Nguyen on the first play of the drive. Goes downfield. He connects with the rookie, Reggie Burnham, who gets it to the 7-yard line. Burnham, drafted in the 4th round, has played quite a bit so far for Seattle, and he's been pretty good. 1st and goal. Noah Fant breaking tackles in for a score, and the Seahawks capitalize off the turnover. They strike first. String music in the end zone for Seattle. They lead at 7-0. Dragons with it. Here's Milan Santa. He fumbles it! And thank the Lord the Dragons pick it up. Lane Johnson with the recovery. So the rain has clearly made an impact on this game. The Dragons have already fumbled it twice. 3rd and 4. Likely only gets a yard. Wrapped up by Zion Onyulogwu, who had a 2-interception game when these 2 teams played each other last year. Seahawks back with it. Great start so far for Seattle as it's a handoff for Walker. I don't know if you saw Owen Popo there. He just got mauled. Walker, meanwhile, gets it to the 48. He's had some big games against us in the past, and while our run defense has been great this year, we've got to be ready for one of the best backs in the league as Nguyen goes up the middle. It's hauled in for another 1st down. Reggie Burnham again comes down with it. And so far, this game has been all Seattle. The Seahawks look like their 4-0 record. 3rd and 10. Nguyen looking for the end zone. He's got Metcalf. Touchdown, Seattle. Ryan Nada's a superbly talented athlete, and if anybody's going to be able to stick with Metcalf, it's somebody who's 6'6", 220 pounds. But that play, he looked like he did not have a lot of corner experience, and that's because, well, he doesn't. DK gets the back shoulder corner fade, and the Seahawks lead at 14-0. Dragons got to answer back as Puma throws it into the ground under a ton of pressure. Seattle gets the stop. They'll get it back. It's been an unreal 9 minutes for the Seahawks, and they're looking to continue to dominate. Not so fast. It's picked off. Jabril Fofana with his third of the year, and the Dragons defense gets a much-needed spark of momentum. This is the big play that St. Louis needed to bring themselves back into the game. A huge play by Fofana, who comes out of nowhere, snagging the football. And the offense starts the drive off with a gain of 19 from Darwin Juskins. Good to have him back in the lineup. It's a homecoming game for Juskins, having played at the University of Washington, as the Dragons have it in the red zone inside the 10. 2nd and 7. First play of the second. Looking to turn the page on a disastrous first quarter. And that's one way to do it. Isaiah Likely comes down with it in the end zone for a touchdown. And the St. Louis Dragons are on the board. So like Seattle, the Dragons capitalize off of their defensive takeaway and are back in the game. But the lead will stay at 8. Cameron Dicker misses the extra point. If you remember last year in Seattle, Dicker missed, I think, 3 kicks in that game. So already off to a rough start here as Nguyen hit as he throws under pressure by another former University of Washington player, Nnamdi Sanaga. And Nguyen is hurt on the play. Not a serious injury. He should be fine. And, of course, Seattle has a very capable backup with Bryson Bowen. But obviously for them, they don't want to see their golden goose get injured. That'll force a punt. Dragons get it back. They've got an opportunity to gain some momentum after a good start here to the second quarter, scoring a touchdown and getting a stop as Keon on the RPO screen loses 3, wrapped up by Uchenna Nwosu. Puma's 5 for 7 today, but with 18 yards. 3rd down. Puma looking up the middle for Likely, and it's broken up by Devin Bush. The passing game is averaged around 2 yards per attempt. That's not very good. And Seattle gets it back with plus field position as DK Metcalf comes down with it to the 20. Metcalf beats Nada off the turn. And DK's off to a great start. 5 for 54 and a touchdown as Malik Hooker looks like he's got some words for him. 3rd and inches now at the 12 for Seattle. As you can see, Tyler Nguyen is still in the game, not having to miss any time with the injury. As Razir McClendon, the running back, will get the first down. He breaks the tackle from Barber and brings it to the 9-yard line. And he had some words as well. This game's starting to get a little chippy. 2nd and goal. Short throw from McClendon. Looks to break the tackle from White. And he's going to lose 2. Samasoni Soluni finishes off the play. And so now it is a 3rd and goal from the 5. Can the defense get the stop in the red zone? Quick answer is yes. DeJuan Overton beats the rep with ease against the right guard, Rudig Salamone. And Overton gets his first sack of the year, bringing the quarterback down at the 11. Seattle should still make it a 2-score game, though. Kick is nearly blocked by Connor Miller Sr. The kick is good, though, and it is 17-6. 2-minute warning here in the first half, as it's going to be a run from Milan Santa. Delayed handoff catches Seattle off guard. Also along with the fact that the Dragons haven't been able to pass the ball at all today, so getting the ground game going is not a bad idea. 3rd and 10. Puma looking short for Juskins, who is going backwards, and he gets 3. Puma Whitlock is 7 for 12 with 26 yards. It's been much of the same. Seattle's coverage from 10 yards and beyond has been literally flawless, and the Seahawks get it back. 3rd and 11. Razir McClendon gets the first down, and Seattle's going to call a timeout. They're going to look to do some damage on this drive after it originally looked like a lost cause. 2nd and 10. Nguyen has Metcalf once again. He's out of bounds at the 39. Ryan Nada looks like this is his first game ever at corner. It's been tough sledding for him. DK has made him burnt toast, essentially. Up the middle now, this is Alodius Nguyen, the rookie. No relations to Tyler Nguyen. And he gets it to the 18-yard line with 12 seconds. Clock is going to continue to tick as Seattle calls time with 10. That's their final. And they're just going to make sure they get points here before the end of the half. Field goal try on its way from 35. It's up and good. And that should wrap up what was a great first half for Seattle. They lead at 20-6. The Dragons are going to have enough time to run one more play, though. And they figure they might as well. They haven't been able to get anything going. So maybe they can do it here in the final play of the half. Play action. Puma looking downfield. He's got Keon wide open, and he cannot keep the feet in bounds. Had he been able to stay in, that could have been a big play. Puma Whitlock does double his passing yards total from 26 all the way up to an impressive 52. But that's how the first half is going to come to a close. It's been mostly all Seattle. They lead 20-6. The Dragons' offense has really not been all that good today. Their only touchdown was directly off of the turnover, while Tyler Nguyen has continued his great rookie year. Let's take a look at the games that happened earlier today in Philly, an NFC East rivalry. Dallas would get the win here with this touchdown and a great performance by the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, CeeDee Lamb. In Cincinnati, another rough showing for the Browns, who have gotten blown out in back-to-back weeks, this time by Corn Carlson and the Bengals. Here is the rest of the schedule. The Ravens play against the Lions on Monday Night Football, and that's relevant for us because the Lions are going to have a short week, and we play against them on Sunday Night Football next week. The Rams won their first game of the year. The Niners also won. So if this holds and Seattle beats us, then our 3 division opponents would win, and we would lose. So let's hope that doesn't happen. The passing game has been a joke. We've got to get something going there. And then defensively, we look like we have 2 corners who are making their first NFL starts. The pass defense really has not been very good. To start the third quarter, play action. Puma Whitlock on the run. He will fire for Arturo Modelo, who gets it to the 40-yard line. These last 2 passing plays are hopefully a sign of things to come. Puma's looking to get things going downfield, and the offense is finally doing something with it. Here's Juskins now down the field. 30, 25, gets it to the 22. A big run for Juskins, who's only gotten the ball 4 times today, but he's been very effective. Got to imagine the Dragons are going to call his number more with the strong first half that he's had on display thus far. From the 22, Puma Whitlock looking short for Modelo, getting by defenders, and he is into the 11. This is the first drive today where the offense looks legitimately explosive with multiple big plays. 2nd and 5, Juskins to the outside, loses like 6. He's wrapped up by Devin Witherspoon, and that'll make it a 3rd and 11 at the 11. Big play here for the offense. Puma Whitlock calling an audible, hoping to make sure somebody's open. It looks like he's calling it for Modelo in the zone. Puma's got Modelo on the slant, and he's in for a score. It's Modelo time. Arturo Modelo once again with another touchdown. And the Dragons' offense with by far their best possession of the game. And now it is 20-12. Cameron Dicker missed the extra point earlier. He's got to make this one to bring the lead down to 7, and it is no good. Wide left again. Dicker's struggles in Seattle are not some coincidence at this point. He missed 3 kicks here last year. He's missed 2 today. He has the yips or something here. On 3rd down, Metcalf with the first down. Hit hard, but he holds onto it. DK Metcalf continues his unbelievable performance as he has been the best player on the field today. 3rd and 3. Nguyen looking downfield. He fires for another first down. This time it's Reggie Burnham who comes down with it, and the rookie's continuing a very solid game of his own. From the 43, play action. Nguyen for Metcalf again. Wide open. It continues to be a rough one here from Ryan Nada. The allure with Nada is that he can play so many positions. Clearly, corner is not one of them. If this game suggests anything about his future. Kenneth Walker now to the outside. He gets it all the way to the 2. So right as the Dragons' offense is starting to get something going, Seattle immediately responds. Now on the goal line, looking to make it a 2-score game once again. 1st and goal. Dump off. Metcalf. Touchdown. DK with his 2nd score of the game. And the Seahawks make it 27-12. Dragons have it back. Puma still in the zone after a great previous drive as he's under a ton of pressure to the right side. He's got a wide open man. It's Arturo Modelo, who gains nearly 25 yards. Great throw there by Puma Whitlock. He had 2 guys right at his face, but he's still able to make a big-time throw for a gain of 23. 2nd and 5. Juskins to the outside, loses 4. These Juskins outside runs clearly are not working. Inside, he's been great, but cutting to the outside, Seattle's been there every time. That was Nwosu with the play. 3rd and 9. Puma goes short for Milan Santa, who gets the first down. Another really nice play there by the rookie as he brings it to the 50-yard line for a gain of 11. 20 to go here in the 3rd. 2nd and 10. Puma still in the zone. Goes up the middle for Colin Robinson. who has it to the 36. Puma Whitlock with well over 100 yards in that quarter alone, which pretty much triples his total for the day. 2nd and 6. Floats it downfield for Likely. What a throw! And Likely hauls it into the 7. That's one of the most impressive throws I've seen out of Puma Whitlock, putting it into the breadbasket perfectly. 8 minutes to go. 1st and goal. Darwin Juskins to the left. Dives in for a score. What a play there by Darwin Juskins, who's in for the touchdown. And the Dragons with another score here. They'll make it a 9-point game, but they've got to make the extra point. First off, we got to look at this replay. What a great job by Juskins to make sure that he holds on to the ball, make sure he stays in bounds and crosses the pylon. The Dragons are going to go for 2. They don't trust Cameron Dicker. They want to bring the lead up to 7. Puma's calling an audible. Stacked box. He wants to throw it, and it is incomplete. Modelo really was not open on that play. Great coverage by Seattle. I think that was Salamani Bali who got the deflection, and it remains a 2-score game. 27-18. Kenneth Walker down the field gains 20. Very productive day on the ground here for K9 as he's pushing the 100 yards mark now. 2nd and 8. Clock continues to tick. 27-18 the score as Tyler Nguyen's looking to throw it. Goes downfield one-on-one. DK Metcalf! What a catch to the 5 as he mosses Ryan Nada. I can't even fault Ryan Nada there. DK Metcalf is just on another planet sometimes as he's in the zone, obviously. 2nd and goal. Play action. Nguyen on the run. Corner of the end zone. It's DK again. That's a hat trick. His 3rd touchdown of the game to go along with, I think, 7 catches for like close to 150 yards at this point. Seattle's now going to go for 2, try to make it a 3-possession game, and Kenneth Walker will walk in. These missed extra points and 2-point conversion swings have really helped out Seattle. They would obviously still have the lead regardless, but it would be a 2-possession game if not for the extra point issues. So now the Dragons have a lot of work to do as Puma Whitlock stumbles forward, but he gets the first down to the 41. Play action with under 6.5 to go. Puma Whitlock is sacked on 3rd down by Jordan Brooks. They got to go for it. They're down by 3 scores. 4th and 21. Weaver open downfield. Gets lit up by Bali. And Seattle gets the stop. And they'll have a chance to close out the game. They would end up chewing around 2 minutes of clock and kicking a field goal. It's now 38-18. So the Dragons are down by 20. The undefeated season's not looking good. But here's a big play for Modelo for around 50 yards. That was a routine slant play, but Modelo saw that Seattle really wasn't covering the back end of the field, and he's able to take advantage. 2nd and 4 now at the 7. Puma looking. He's got Griffin Weaver for the score. And if nothing else, the Dragons are going to continue to hang in there. Still remains a 2-possession game. And now it's time for the extra point. The Dragons are 0 for 3 on extra points, whether it's missed kicks or 2-point conversions. Doink! Off the crossbar and in. The kick is good, barely, and it's 38-25. The Dragons would not go for the onside. They trust their defense. 3rd and 16. Nguyen's going to look to throw it. Running around with it. Slides for a gain of 4. The decision to trust the defense pays off. If the Dragons can score quickly, I'm just saying, you never know. It's not fully over. 2nd and 10. Puma looking downfield. He's got Colin Robinson to the 34, who's out of bounds to stop the clock. Big play by Robinson, who's had a few nice catches today, getting some extra playing time with the JAMO injury, and he's taking advantage. From the 34, Puma rolls out under pressure. He's got Modelo wide open down the field. He gets 31 yards. Leaving Modelo wide open is certainly a choice. A choice that I would not make if I was Seattle, but I digress. 1st and goal from the 3. Puma under pressure. He is quickly sacked by Lance Sturlovich Jr. 2nd and goal. Puma rolls out to the left. Scrambling, looking for the corner. He's got Likely. What a throw by Puma Whitlock. His 4th passing touchdown of the game. In the second half alone, Puma has 250 yards and 3 scores. And it's a 1-possession ball game as Dicker did make the extra point. Onside kick is recovered by Seattle. So the Seahawks will get it. If they can manage the clock smartly, there's no reason that the Dragons should theoretically get the ball here. 3rd and 7. Dragons added timeouts. If this play lasts longer than 5 or 6 seconds, Seattle can finish off the job, and it does not. Owen Popo flying into the backfield, forcing a loss of yardage. What does Seattle do here? Do they kick it? Do they punt it? I feel like you should just punt it and hope that the Dragons don't have any time left, but they are going to go for the field goal. Arturo Modelo is back deep to return from 56. It is no good, and there is still a second left on the clock. So the Dragons are going to have one chance to go for a Hail Mary, and this feels eerily similar to last year's game against Seattle. I'm getting deja vu, but the roles are reversed. Cameron Dicker misses a lawn kick. Seattle goes for a Hail Mary. They don't get it, but we get called for a penalty, and Seattle wins off of the game-winning field goal. Could we have a similar finish here? For all the marbles, Puma Whitlock under pressure, and the hit by Vea invades the throw, and that'll do it. The Seahawks survive despite a late push by the Dragons. 38-32 your final as the Dragons lose their first game of the year. They fall to a record of 3-1-1. As for Seattle, 5-0 with the rookie Tyler Nguyen, who had another really impressive game against a great defense, albeit a great defense with 2 corners making their first starts at their NFL career. But he was still fantastic. Don't want to take anything away from him. Our offense really struggled early in this game, but we really picked it up late. Puma Whitlock started the game off really poorly, but he was very impressive in the second half. Unfortunately, it was a classic case of too little too late, but he still threw 4 touchdowns, still aggressive, and no interceptions. Tyler Nguyen was also really good. This kid's a baller, and I am scared that he is in our division. I had no clue he was going to be this good of a player. Both teams ran the ball quite well. I said DK had 7 catches. I was wrong. He had 12 for 167 and 3 touchdowns. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Arturo Modelo was also great, 6 for 143. Isaiah Likely scored twice. Weaver and Fant each scored. Reggie Burnham was good as well. Our offensive line was fine, especially as the game went along. It got better. And then defensively, just a rough day in the office. Not a lot of pass rush. We really missed our 2 corners, Okudah and Lucifer. Those 2 guys are 2 of the main pieces of how our defense works. And it certainly didn't help that Cameron Dicker left a lot of points off the board. And if not for the kicks, who knows, this game could have been different. So unfortunately, we don't get the job done. And I'm a little concerned about the game next week against the Lions because we're probably not going to have Okudah and Lucifer again. We're going to be getting Jamison Williams back, which is big for the offense. But we're going to have these inexperienced corners having to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown and Mike Williams. Not ideal. Let's take a look at the scores around the league. We already saw most of these other than the Monday night game, which was won by Baltimore. As for the players of the week, I feel like it should have been DK Metcalf, but they give it to Puma Whitlock. I'm not complaining. I feel like DK kind of got robbed, though. Tua Tagovailoa, Montez Sweat, and David Long win as well. That brings us into Week 6, another Sunday Night Football game, our first primetime game at home against my beloved Detroit Lions, who sit at 2-3, led by third-year quarterback Amari August, in what should be a pretty fun game. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new for more St. Louis Dragons football. Peace out.